Hello everyone, welcome back to For Dummies KH. I'm Kevin, and today we're going to be going over React and LitElement, which are both used to quickly create web components using JavaScript that work in web pages. Learning to use these tools is great for people who enjoy hands-on learning experiences where they can actually interact with their lesson to get a better understanding. In this video, I'll give my take on each of these tutorials, their flaws and successes, and try to express my own opinion on which did a better job in teaching a JavaScript newbie the basics. First off, the end result of each tutorial. What are you working towards when you start each of these? In the React tutorial, which I have the end result pulled up here, you're basically building a tic-tac-toe game, an interactive one. So you can click through for each player. Obviously, X wins. You can scroll through the moves, see each one. It's really cool. Whereas in the LitElement tutorial, you're not really building anything, so to say. You're more just running through this code that they give you, entering or changing the code as you go. It's listed out in these categories over here that get progressively more in depth, and it'll change the output. Yeah, so you're basically just working through code and seeing how it affects this output rather than actually building something. After working through both, I can't really say that one's definitively better than the other. They both have their strengths and definitely both have significant weaknesses. With the LitElement tutorial, I would say that it's really easy to understand because it gives you everything. I'll get into why later when I go into frameworks and libraries. With LitElement, because it's a library, it gives you all the code, so it's really easy to work through. Whereas with React, it's more do it yourself while being guided through it. It's a bit daunting because it's an enormous tutorial with a lot of information, but if you really go through it and read everything that it has to offer, you can really get a good understanding. I think the main reason I was able to understand LitElement better than React is because I actually completed the React tutorial first, and this gave me a lot of information and instruction that made the LitElement tutorial extremely easy. The differences between React and LitElement lie in the differences between a framework and a library. React is a framework which includes libraries and languages used to create components, whereas LitElement is a library which is much smaller in scale than a framework and focuses more on helper functions using pre-existing code. That's why in the LitElement tutorial, they give you everything, and basically they want you to just take what they do, plug it into this code here, and see how it works. For this reason, React is much larger in scale than LitElement, which I believe is the reason why LitElement was easier for me to understand after having worked with the React framework. The code is given rather than created with a library, whereas a framework is more abstract